Once again, and warm welcome to Cape Town. We're still coming to you live, of course, from the National Library of South Africa, of course, here in Cape Town. We're here for the 200th anniversary, of course, of the existence of this very same place. So let's just have a conversation with Vusithemba Ndima. He is the Deputy Director General at the Department of Arts and Culture, because there are some greatest national treasures, of course, that are housed where we are here this morning. And of course, as I said, the public is invited to come and see what the library has to offer. Good morning to you, Mr. Ndima. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Palisa, and good morning to the viewers.
Thank you so much indeed. Now, talk to us about the department's role in the celebration itself, just before we get to what you do for the communities in terms of providing them with libraries.
Thank you very much, Palisa. Just to say that you must remember that the National Library of South Africa is an associated institution of the Department of Arts and Culture. We are very much happy that today we are celebrating the Bicentenary of the library, and also today our occasion will be graced by the presence of our Deputy Minister, who will be speaking.
All right. Now, there's a report, Mr. Ndima, I think it was released towards the end of last year, basically indicating that 80% of grade 4 learners cannot read. We had conversations with education experts who were basically saying that this is due to the fact that there aren't enough libraries in your rural communities. The department, what's the department doing to address this problem? Because I do remember back in 2007, 2008, of course, there was a grant that was given out by the department for such initiatives.
Thank you very much, Palisa. I think that's a sad report. I think I remember that report. But just to say that the department has done a great deal of work in the area of library information services. As you have correctly indicated, in 2007, 2008, there was a bit of financial injection from National Treasury where we were given the conditional grant. I think at that particular point in time, you were talking about 180 million rands, which was meant to ensure that we build new libraries, not only in the cities, as it has been the case before, but in the rural areas and the peri-urban areas, building new libraries, ensuring that those libraries have got library material, but also ensure that there is ICT in those libraries. So in a way, we have done a great deal of work in ensuring that there are also dual-purpose libraries. The dual-purpose libraries are those that can serve communities, but also they can serve schools. So in that way, you are able to provide those material to schools. I'm talking about the children at the level of preparatory level, the primary level, secondary level. So I think that kind of intervention from government has been wonderful.
All right. Now, back to the celebrations, of course, which brings us here in Cape Town this morning. Part of the objectives behind the celebrations, of course, is to promote social cohesion and national development. How do you think buildings such as this, of course, will contribute towards social cohesion?
Look, libraries are actually spaces of interaction. Libraries are spaces where different communities need to meet in order to share in the reservoir of knowledge that is actually found in libraries. And of course, you would want a situation where you have got book clubs which are across the color line, where different communities across racial lines are able to share information. And also, what is important about reading is also being able to understand other people's cultures. That intercultural dialogue is very important, because once you have got this interaction between cultures, people begin to understand one another, and the gap between understanding is bridged.
Yeah. But I believe you'd agree with me that we are sort of moving towards the digital space. It's not about having a book physically. It's about, I see there's a computer lab as well here. So are you really moving with the times as a department to ensure that I don't have to necessarily sit in the library and page through books, but, sit in front of the computer and get articles as a student, perhaps?
Yes, I think that there is a big project that we are doing with Melinda and Gates Foundation. which is also about improving ICT infrastructure in the libraries. But also we are moving towards the space of virtual libraries as we are actually talking about the digital age. So we are actually moving as government, and with all the associated institutions and other structures like LIASA that are playing a very prominent role in the space of library and information services in the country.
All right, we have to leave it at that, Babu Ndima. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you very much. Palisa.
Thank you very much indeed to Vusithemba Ndima. He is the Deputy Director General at the Department of Arts and Culture, of course, talking to us about the role that the department plays in the celebrations, of course, but generally in terms of the provision of libraries in our communities. Right, it's 7 o'clock on the dot.